only comes around once a year, but for once, we get two at Silverstone. Welcome to Race Day. It's the British Grand Prix, and for the 70th time, we go green at Silverstone. Formula One then, after the first triple header, moves into their second triple header. It's the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, the first of two races back-to-back at this wonderful circuit. After this, we head over to Spain in mid-August, that race under doubt due to coronavirus. Then we have a week off before the Belgian Grand Prix, the Italian Grand Prix and the new Tuscany Grand Prix round out our second triple header. A week off before we head over to Russia, and then new on the calendar. For the first time since 2013, the Nürburgring returns for the Eiffel Grand Prix in Germany. Then we head over to Portugal for the first time since 1996, and a new Grand Prix track at the Circuit of the Algarve for Portimao, and then a two-day event at Imola for the first time since 2006. In the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads the way on 63 points coming into the British Grand Prix. He is 5 clear of Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen is in third on 33 points. One victory in the second would give him the championship lead if Hamilton fails to score. It's still really close. Lando Norris holds off 4th place as well. Alexander Albon is 5th. Sergio Perez 6th. Charles Leclerc 7th. Lance Stroll 8th. Carlos Sainz 9th and 10th for Sebastian Vettel. On the second page, Daniel Ricciardo is on 8 points only. He's followed closely by Pierre Gasly in 12th, 13th for Esteban Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi 14th, followed by Danny Kvyat and Kevin Magnussen on 1 point. And still to score points sees Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi, Romain Grosjean and George Russell. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way, 121 points, 66 clear of Aston Martin Red Bull Racing. McLaren holding off Racing Point by a single point, believe it or not, in 3rd and 4th. Ferrari, the midfield team, in 5th, 27 only to their name. Renault are in 6th on 12, 7 for AlphaTauri. Alfa Romeo Racing have 2, 1 point only for Haas, and no points on the board yet for Williams in 10th. Welcome along to the British Grand Prix here for the first time. This is our live build-up coverage. This bit's pre-recorded, but as the flags are blowing behind us, we'll be live in about 20 minutes' time for the British Grand Prix itself. Joining me, two people who have watched Formula One for numerous years. It's Ian Birch and Megan Birch. Good afternoon, Dad. Good afternoon, Megan. First of all, Lewis Hamilton, 7 poles at Silverstone. He's done it again, Dad.
Yeah, he missed the crowd, but Lewis pulled it out. He had that little spin.
Yeah, that turned to...
I feared that it would be Valtteri or Max, but he did it for us, and, brilliant.
Megan, just coming to you as well. Yes, it is going to be a difficult race without the fans, but was there any doubt that Lewis would put it on pole in the end?
Not really that much, no.
Coming into the race today, we've got different tyre strategies playing a factor. Obviously, Hamilton has now got none of his medium compounds tyre compared to Bottas, who has a new one. So he's really affected in the strategy run. So he's going to have to go onto the hards. Bottas has got the mediums to run on. It's going to be a race of two halves.
It'll be close, and Max will run them.
Yep.
I hope Lando gets up there. He's driving well this weekend, and hopefully, Lewis will win and Lando on the podium.
Megan, just coming to you as well. You're our number cruncher up in the commentary box as well. Are you predicting a 2-stop or 1-stop? Traditionally, this circuit usually throws at 1, but with the temperatures flux we've had in a couple of days,
I think we may have a couple of 2-stops.
Yeah, because with the temperatures, nobody's got a clear run of the running order. So I agree with you there.
Disintegrating.
Yeah, left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
We saw in the Formula.
And it's reasonably nice weather.
We saw in the Formula 2 race a lot of spins at the last corners of clubs. We know there was oil down there yesterday, but is that going to be something to watch out for?
In practice, they couldn't keep on the track there, so yeah.
It's going to be fun. Right, let's take a look at what happened back in qualifying then for the British Grand Prix. Here's the qualifying report. So let's take a look at what happened in the qualifying report then for the 2020 British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. And as usual, we'll start with qualifying 1. Mercedes, impressive. They were duelling it out at the front of the field constantly for battle. But George Russell was the big surprise. For the third qualifying session in a row, he manages to get through into the second part of qualifying. It wasn't without drama though. On his fastest run, his teammate Nicholas Latifi went off at Luffield. And when he rejoined, even though I saw green flags and said in the commentary about that there was a green flag, the stewards have given George a 5-place grid penalty, meaning he starts from the back of the grid, and all that hard work he did to get into Q2 was undone. Ironically, his own teammate costing him the error as well. The midfield have been broken into 2. Haas and Alfa Romeo dropping off the midfield into their own group at the back as well, as they were both as their cars eliminated in the opening part of qualifying. There's a lot of work to do, but in the first session we lost Kevin Magnussen, Antonio Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen, Romain Grosjean and Nicholas Latifi. In qualifying 2, Hamilton eases through despite a rare mistake, spinning at Luffield and bringing more gravel onto the track after Nicholas Latifi did it. He wrecked his medium compound tyres, brought out the red flag, managed to get back to the pit lane, but still it put him on the back foot. He had to use another set of the medium tyres, to which he now starts the race on. It's a bad situation for Lewis Hamilton, but he did make up for it by setting the fastest time as well. Hamilton, mistake is very rare in Formula 1. The session got back underway. He hooked up a tiny lap on the mediums to go second, 3/10 drift though of Bottas on the same rubber, both laps easily good enough to progress going up. Vettel and Stroll boldly headed out mediums as well. They went on to mix up the strategy. The rivals as well on the soft further back. Everyone else qualified in the top 10 on the soft compound tyres. Paid off as well. They got through into the next part of qualifying. Albon was only 4/10 shy of making it through to the next part of qualifying, but once again he was eliminated. A bad weekend and a bad start to the season for Albon. He is eliminated, but does go up a few order with Kvyat having a 5-place grid penalty and Russell starting at the back, so it sort of shifts the grid around. But knocked out in qualifying 2 was Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon. Nico Hülkenberg did brilliantly, qualifying 13th, starts higher up though. He still did an amazing job. Then we lose Danny Kvyat and George Russell. But it was nobody to stop Lewis Hamilton from taking pole position number 91, and he's 7th here at Silverstone as he goes after his 7th victory at the circuit. An unbeatable lap time, 3/10 quicker than Bottas. The two Mercedes out-qualifying the rest of the field by over a second to Verstappen in 3rd. A dream situation for them as well. Lando Norris starts 5th on the grid on Britwatch as well. He is absolutely flying at the moment. Expect a good result from him. He knows the circuit well after racing here in the British Touring Cars as well before joining the single-seaters with Formula 2 and into Formula 1. Red Bull top 3 as well. Lance Stroll also starts on 4th as well. Vettel is looking quick as well going forward. So it was an interesting one. Lewis Hamilton takes pole position here at Silverstone. A topsy-turvy qualifying then, and grid penalties means the grid is topsy-turvy. Lewis Hamilton starts on pole position for the 7th time here at Silverstone as he goes after his 7th career victory. His teammate Valtteri Bottas is alongside him on row 1. Behind is Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. They're looking quick going into the race. Lando Norris starts 5th alongside Lance Stroll. Stroll could get a podium here today, but Leclerc looking quite quick in that modified Ferrari. Carlos Sainz starts 7th on the 4th row of the grid. He's alongside Danny Ricciardo. And the 5th row sees Esteban Ocon and Sebastian Vettel start 10th. A dreadful qualifying for him. Row 6 is Pierre Gasly alongside Alexander Albon. Dropping behind that, we see Nico Hülkenberg starting 13th on the grid. A great race for him is predicted. Kevin Magnussen's 14th. Giovinazzi starts 15th. Kimi Raikkonen 16th. Romain Grosjean 17th. 18th for Nicholas Latifi. And then Danny Kvyat starts 19th with a 5-place grid penalty for a replacement gearbox. And George Russell starts 20th for a 5-place grid penalty for failing to slow onto the yellow flags in Q1. In my opinion, though, that shouldn't be a penalty. But still, there's the running order. It's looking good here at the British Grand Prix. It's a wonderful circuit. You've got a T-shirt with all the corners on the track, haven't you? You wore it
Yeah, I
yesterday.
read them out yesterday during the
Yes.
commentary for.
Megan, on the other hand,
Qualifying.
has stat books, but let's put your shirt to good use. Let's take a look around Silverstone with Lap Attack. Let's take a look at the Silverstone circuit in Great Britain. 3 sectors, one of the flattest circuits on the calendar. 2 DRS zones, speed trap down the Hanger Straight, 18 turns in total, minimal elevation change throughout. On board with the McLaren from last year, get a good exit out of the club corner and you're immediately across the control line. Head down towards turn 1, Abbey a quick flick to the right, full speed, lifting slightly in 8th gear through farm and into village, the heavy braking zone in turn 3, down 4th gear, tight right again, lead you out wide to the loop section, turn 4, tight left. Get the power on mid-exit as you flick left once again, through Aintree and down the Wellington Straight. Open up the DRS and now defend from overtakes behind. If you're on a lap, then keep the car as straight as possible. Hurting to Brooklands now. Down only to 5th gear. Throw the car into the left. Ride the curves at the exit. Get the car all straightened out before a quick flick right round into Woodlands. Up now towards Woodcote now, flat out before the Cops corner, the fastest corner in Britain. Keep it flat out across the on-start finish straight. Flick the car right before you head down towards Maggins and Beckett. Some of the most seductive corners in Formula 1 history over 70 years. Flick the car to the left, the right, then do it all over again through Beckett. Driver's going to get this right once a weekend before into Chapel and the Hanger Straight for the second DRS zone. Long now as you head down towards Stowe Corner, 8th gear flat out, only drop 2 gears, keep the car revs high up as you drop through Stowe. Downhill section of the track now, pit lane entrance towards your right, into the Vale chicane. Left, then right, get the power on before the quick flick on turn 18 at Club Corner and you're across the control line. It's a fast and abusive circuit, but it's the home of British motorsport. Okay, we're coming to the end of this pre-recorded bit of the programme. Our live stream is about to start for all the coverage. Me and Megan will be in the commentary box and you, Dad, will be at race control watching
We've had
on.
one British winner today.
Yeah, Dan Tickton won in the Formula 2.
won in Formula 2.
I want your predictions to who's going to win the race. Is it really an ask because Lewis is going for his 7th at Silverstone?
I've got to say Lewis.
Megan?
Hopefully Lewis. I also feel like Valtteri's been good this week.
Yeah, he
Okay,
has.
I'm going to ask you something a bit different. Who's your podium pickers?
What?
Who's going to be on the podium, 2nd and 3rd?
Well, Max and hopefully Lando.
Megan?
2nd and 3rd, like
Yes, on the podium, yeah.
Max, and I have a feeling that maybe Stroll because he's had a good time of it.
Yeah, he's had
Oh,
a good
that's a good
time,
one.
and Valtteri will be around there somewhere. But hopefully
Right,
Lewis and Lando.
it's an interesting one then. The
George
British-
as well, if you can get there, George.
Well, he's got a 5-place grid penalty starting at the back of the grid.
I know, but we saw that this morning with one of the Formula 2 lot. Started at the back and finished about 7th or 8th.
It's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be a race of 2 halves. Right, here we go then. Live coverage about to begin here. Stay on the channel. A new link will appear. Me and Megan will be in the commentary box. You're off to race control. It's the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, the greatest race of the year. Can Hamilton pull it out in the bag and win 7 races here at Silverstone? Only time will tell. Join us in a minute for live coverage, and we're back later on in pre-recorded for the race review as well. But from us all here, see you in a couple of moments. Stay tuned. Live stream coming up.